Yeah, guys, as Matera looks like he's going to Eastonwood. Eastonwood usually comes across there and takes that intercept mark. He's really worried about what might happen on ground level.
Tom Lynch didn't kick a goal last week, but hasn't taken long to get amongst them this week. Wallace sends the Dogs forward for the first time. Beautiful pluck over the top from Bontempelli. Boyd makes his move out of the square, and he did everything but mark it. He was there. Charge away, but good negating. Dixon and then Murphy. Back into the mix. Bontempelli, McKenzie, Tate, did poorly. Caleb Daniel feeding Wallace. Again beyond the 50 into the breeze. Johannesson's down there, the kick smothered. It'll get him closer to goal. Bontempelli, a wall of Suns, all coming straight for him. And there's no way out for the Bont. Again, Dixon's in the frame. No mark.
But he's created another spillage.
For Lynch, who gave it to Bontempelli, but he's gone. Gee, lifeless, the Dogs. A lot of it's just to do with the...
Going to be a little bit tall, may have even subbed one, not subbed, but interchanged one as much as they possibly could to get that run, because it's going to be running goals for the Gold Coast in this turn.
Bontempelli, restricted by Ablett, but got enough on it. Here's May doing a stellar job so far on Stringer. Kick the half forward to her.
Coast will get a good handle on early in this term is the Bulldogs' ability to hold the ball in their forward half.
Yep.
They've got to continually turn the ball over and stop the Suns doing exactly this.
Scatelli to Shaw. He was looking for reinforcements, didn't find them.
So that's a win. In their forward half, they've been able to turn it over, so that's a big plus. Jared, I wouldn't have thought that the Dogs are a big bomb the ball into the forward line team, even with the win. So they've still got to be precise when moving the ball off half back.
And that's been their modus operandi all along, hasn't it?
Ball back in. Top down Nichols. Ablett, no way out for him. Shaw off to McKenzie. Scoots around half forward, looking threatening. Kicks it out on the full. Swallow coming
In to go long early because you could see 60 metres away there was some big defenders, not Lonergan, sorry.
You can see Rockets really getting his players.
It looks like nothing, and yet a player walks off with some serious injuries.
Dixon, no conviction about the ball movement there from the Dogs. The Suns on the...
So far, they're just really struggling. That overlap run, you know, the short passing, they haven't been able to hit the targets at all.
Hall saw a little path and didn't make contact.
It's really difficult to break a line in footy these days, as we've seen right throughout this.
Toiling hard. Murphy. It's all the way back.
No movement up forward. He'd be filthy, Luke Beveridge.
Roberts' kick.
Not
Somehow
working hard for each other at the moment.
Found its way to Bontempelli, despite the odds being against it for a while. Hall trying to deny Wallace, which he... again, putting himself in the right places as they work it around. One more handball. Worked himself into the right spot. Not the best kick in the world, though, that one from McRae. Miller's going to stay right with him. McRae gets something out of it. Not enough. Hallahan back to Miller. Good persistence. Dab hand, beautiful.
Good news story for the Gold Coast Suns this season, too, Knight.
Was held for a moment there, but I didn't spot it. May. Handball back to Shaw. Gives to Hall. Has to react. He did. He ducked. And then he was cooked.
So he's gone.
Yeah, and then he feigned for the free kick. He gave away 50, so just starting to unravel here. The Dogs are finding a way.
Coaches don't like that. I think they need the short pass here to get to the 50 rather than bolt.
Jasny down the line, but hands it straight back. Pruden.
It's a pick 2 minutes, this one. If the Gold Coast can hold them out here, they can bank a 3-goal lead. That would be magnificent for them. And the Bulldogs, they've just got to find a way.
Bontempelli goes for a red path. Searing ball. McKenzie sends it straight out again.
Well, that's two. That's Boyd and Redpath have dropped nice passes into the forward 50.
That was a bullet.
Yeah.
That was a great kick.
You got to take those.
Try and see out this opening quarter. Down the line goes the kick. Day doesn't get there. Bontempelli does.
Starting to look dangerous to Bont.
His 10th disposal. Has them running. Hunter.
The bomb.
Thursday night it was 66-63. The Tigers 71-41, and at half time we've had 9 goals kicked. in perfect
I
conditions.
was going to say, difficult conditions out there.
18 points. It's the Suns 6-3-39 and the Dogs 3-3-21.
Well,
Margin as we start this third quarter. As you can see, the lights have really taken effect. Nichols tapped it down with style to risk a tally. Thought about
Pressure on at all. And this is where they kick their first goal, this sort of situation.
Bontempelli.
Executed beautifully.
no, they run with roll, or they're going to back Picken to get his own footy, which he has done pretty well this afternoon. He's had 16 possessions, which is a few more than Gary Ablin.
Bontempelli and McRae sorted out.
It is incredible to see a team just drop its energy levels so dramatically.
Well, there were signs of this last week. I think even the Bulldogs thought that they got away with one against the Blues. Only had one winning line, and that was their...
His name in All-Australian contention.
Just had the 3 disposals in the first half, though. Lockie Hunter, the give was there for Murphy. Bontempelli had Grant on. Got Johannesson ahead of him here. If he can get the ball to him somehow, they will eventually via Eastern Wood.
An effort, work rate-based performance to date. Hasn't been there.
And there's the Bont getting it to Eastern Wood. Thought about the long shot. Of course, into the breeze. That was not really an option. And it's fit.
They're in their ball movement and their attack at the Gold Coast Suns. The Dogs just been far too conservative.
Tory Dixon had a chance after Dalhouse was stripped of it. Wallace did well. Settles on Nichols or Day to fly. Bontempelli. Wood starting to get into the action. High ball gives everyone a chance to run. He did enough to defy and annoy. Stringer holds it out like the proverbial waiter. And it goes across the face. Bontempelli.
Just not doing enough here, the Gold Coast.
Ran 40 metres out, dropped a chest mark.
Dixon, surely he can take the mark. No, not quite. He's getting more and more greasy by the look of it.
That's pretty good conditions to take a chest mark. We've seen 2 easy chest marks go down in the forward 50.
Ablett fashions it out.
Far too early to be doing that, that's for sure. And the Dogs just feel they're starting to get their game going. They're starting to hit the shorter passes.
At the moment, they've brought their D game, and yet there's still a small chance.
Ball ricocheting strongly into Ablett and away from him. Daniel tries one on, finds a little path, and has a bounce. May have bitten off a little bit too much, but at least it's a positive intent. Shut down eventually. That's an excellent pickup, but the handball also misses the mark. Hall, he's caught. He's holding the ball, not paid. Bontempelli made his own rules, gave it to Wallace. Surely this time the goal will eventuate, and hopefully it can for Red Park.
Well, they have stopped chasing.
Off the chest is causing massive issues for them, but letting the Suns off the hook.
Nice hands from Nichols.
Yeah, it was good play by Tate too. He took on a big load. Yeah, they didn't hear or played them really well.
Once again, nobody attacking the ball. No point Tom Lynch putting his hand up. It was a stinker off the boot. You've got to react.
Aimless kick. It turned out to be more easy pickings for this Bulldogs team. Now Bontempelli got some issues.
Got to assess here now, the dog.
Picken.
They've notionally still got an advantage with a breeze. It's dropping down significantly, but they've still got the advantage.
Yep.
But
needs to be pinpoint here, and he was.
I'm not sure he held it, but he disguised it nicely.
Shaw into the team today. Instructions are to go along down the line. Relatively even numbers.
Oh, he hasn't got anyone there.
He's got no one with any size.
They're not working. They are playing footy that if they started this way would have them 10 goals down.
Look, you're spot on with everything you say up there at the moment, guys. We spoke about the Bulldogs at the start of the quarter. There's no talk, no communication.
Just get some reward for all their effort, the Dogs. Need one of their forwards to stand up and take a grab and kick one.
McRae tosses it high. The fist was prominent by May the first time. Grant counted. The handball came from Dalhouse to Hunter, who overdid the...
Koladashny was also continuing to hold his own. But the Dogs are right in this match.
Well, they've put an extra back to start with the Suns, which is no great surprise. Out of the middle. Free kick to the Dogs. So
this is the start they need.
Yeah, and it's Boyd.
Really want to run in the third quarter, so I'm not sure what's going to change in the last.
McRae lurking there. Shaw got the first crack at it. Picken. Miller prepared to handball. Shaw.
Generate the the scrappy goal to get things going, start to get the flow in their game.
We're not sure if this is tactical or not, but they are playing as if they're looking at that score. That
But they really need that injection of spirit and run.
Gary Ablett on 19 disposals. I love him.
We need the Bont to fire up and kick one.
Well, he has fired up, and he has kicked one.
Well, you just never know.
Margin 19 now.
Nothing clean or pretty about that one. It's scrappy, forward 50, repeat stoppages, and someone just pops up and generates a shot at goal. And Bontempelli was the man. He's had plenty of the ball in that third term.
And someone happened to have a little bit of class, Lynch.
He has. He had 11 disposals in the third term. Only one of those was a kick, but on that occasion, he got around with that very trusty left slipper and just slotted it straight through.
It's got all the hallmarks, this one, Hutto, of a cliffhanger. If the Gold Coast continue to hang on, they will be facing defeat within 20 minutes.
Well, they've had 8 more inside 50s for the game, the Bulldogs. They've had something like 70 more disposals, and yet they're 19. Kicked it inside nicely. Picken, he's not certain where to go to next, but keeps it low for Bontempelli.
Great kick from Murphy and Picken.
It's pretty open in the forward 50.
Not pushing hard.
He's one of the real key players to get involved because he has got that X factor. He can just light the game up in a short period of time, but you have to go right back to the skipper.
Some 4 points, who's to know, but they're down a ruckman and Lynch goes into the centre clearance.
Well, they've still got plenty of time, the Dogs. Wallace and crowd of just under 10,000 at Ghazali Stadium, and they're watching a little stunned at the moment. Now, the Suns need to fight back, and this game is completely opened up. Goals are coming thick and fast. Out of the middle, took Miller, playing like he's a 150-game veteran. Picking back to half forward.
Good sponge.
Good defiance shown by Thompson.
Oh, well done.
Bontempelli slides his way through. Defenders need to defend with all their life here. And Wallace stayed afloat.
So often you hear coaches hold your feet. They sing out from the coach's box. See that Bontempelli stole this one and just kicked it forward. And Wallace, he was started from behind, but worked extremely hard. Lemons has gone to ground.
Club for so long. Now with the boot very much on the other foot, the tap into the perfect path for Gary Ablett. He had time to settle and decide that Lynch was the way to goal. Couldn't mark. Riscatelli kept playing on its merits, but Johannesson bats it back for the Bulldogs. Danger man. Bontempelli, he can kick it 65 to 70 metres to half forward. Stringer in the right spot.
And balls over the top.
This is a fascinating piece of play, though. There was desperation after desperation, and then finally inspiration followed.
That's right. You just see a couple of teammates get north of the ball. It might have been Hunter going north there, but that's a great snap around the body. At the moment, the
Maney in the quarter.
7 goals, 1 from 11 entries, so very efficient. Here they go again.
Yeah, they're not done with yet. Suns need to counter. Riscatelli, his kick not quite so though. Into the 50, Dogs in front. Morris goes tumbling into the turf. Murphy handled it once, Murphy handled it twice, and his kick was shaped to absolute perfection. Dullhouse, what a build-up. Grand entry into the 50. Who better than the Bontempelli? Have you seen better play than that from the Dogs? It started with the skipper and it finished with a young superstar.
Jared, we spoke a few minutes ago about the worst thing the Suns can do is kick it to their half-forward line because their half-forwards are getting smashed and they're getting heavily rebounded against, and that is mostly on the back of Murphy. So they're kicking off half-back and running the ball, and they're being opened up. Murphy's been outstanding in this quarter in particular, but it's the run. His teammates across half-back are just destroying the Gold Coast Suns. Massive swing. The Gold Coast gave the umpire an out.
Ola Seymour thought it was in the back.
Yeah. The ball goes up to half forward, sliding through Dahl. The hit to the front of the pack probably suits the Suns.
Handball is on.
He sees him, it's Rory Thompson, and then Matera's in the pocket. He has to get hold of it first. He decides to look behind. Paul, you can see that they've got no run at all in their legs. Hall withstood the tackle now. It slipped down. And he's
A run from anybody.
little pass and
That was a great fist.
defied, and you can see Bontempelli. He actually, I think, took the ball over the line. The umpire to the tropical north and explore all the wonders of this area and watch your footy team have an unbelievable victory.
No.
Morris to the wing. Ablett, did he interfere? No, apparently not. Had to be caught, got a handball away, goes again. He got him high. Frustrated Gary Ablett.
Yeah, and understandable. He'd be very frustrated. He's worked hard in this second half to get his team back in. Suns need to find a man.
Comes off hands. And it's over the line.
12 disposals at 83% by foot. He's had another